As he squares off against the Filipino Prince. We touch gloves. The referee gives them the final instructions. Don't punch each other. Below the belt. Go back to your corners. Wing knock high in the white headgear. Touches gloves with the Southpaw Prince from the Philippines. You can see already. See the size of the back and the shoulders of the Prince. He is clearly, especially today, the big man. A very lean 67 for wing knock high. We see Nokai coming forward. The Prince out of the southpaw stance, loosening up. Red gloves, red headgear. Nokai taking a dominant position. He's clearly faced a few southpaws. You see the Prince rather. Just him slip beautifully. Mixed up. Good jab there. Hard counter right hand there by Nokai. The Prince walks into it, but he's not bothered. The Prince coming forward. We see Nokai starting to get his range. Nice, loose movement by both fighters, actually. They both look pretty loose. They both miss 1-2s. They take turns. Good jab by Nokai. High with a nice, sneaky right uppercut. With a beautiful visual of the gym in the full ring. It's a full Olympic-sized ring here at BSP Gym. 147 Wingdo Road. You see them trade hard shots. That jab, that was just a jab from the southpaw. The Prince knocked Nokai back into the ropes. High in the white headgear, the white gloves, the orthodox stance. Moving, looking very lean, svelte, flexible, dynamic, good head movement, good range, fast on his feet, circling the perimeter. The Prince comes through with a good 1-2, left hand to the body, tie up on the inside, both trade hard, inside little shots. Prince gets a little one under the ribs there. The referee breaks him up. Let's see what they can do. Still more than a minute to go in round number 1 of what is known as sparring. This is a sparring session. Even these guys, they haven't really let go with any hard shots, but they're still throwing pretty hard shots for a spar. Been a couple of shots that have narrowly missed. As we see there, the Prince from the Philippines storms forward behind a 6-punch cluster. Wow. Still got some hand speed, even though he's a little overweight. Prince in the red headgear. High. Tries a lead right hand. He's obviously faced off against a variety of southpaws. He's got his measure. He's happy to jam his left glove into the head of the Prince. They trade hard shots there. I think Nokai got the better of that. He landed a really good right hand there. The Prince from the Philippines unbothered in the red headgear and the red gloves. We've got the Prince marching forward in the southpaw stance. He tries a double jab, neither of which lands. They fall onto the inside. The referee breaks him up. We'll see if Nokai can use his superior speed and mobilities. He lands a really good combination. Nice counter combination by the Prince to the body. No less. You can see the tail of this table, the dynamics of this fight. The Prince is going to come forward. He's a bigger guy. He's still got a bit of hand speed. He's still got some fast feet. It'll be interesting to see how they match up as they trade hard shots at the end of round number 1. Spar number 3. High going back to his corner. Getting words from one of the trainers at SSC. Interestingly, that SSC trainer, his name escapes me, but he's also like the Prince from the Philippines. The Prince in the red headgear. There we see him on screen, adjusting his headgear, getting ready for round number 2. Take some water. Pretty even round number 1, not a lot in it. Neither party landed any overly impactful punches. We'll see. I'm sure they want to change that in round number 2. Both of these guys want to get at it. Waiting. Look at the Prince. Bit of a pitbull-esque stance there. Position just stalking backwards and forwards. He's raring to go. He wants to get in the battle. Here we go. Round number 2. High in the white. Really good counter 1-2 there by the Prince in the red. He ducks under another shot. He gets busy. There we go. Here we go. Starting to move some hard shots to the head and the body from both fighters. They push each other in the face with their gloves. Always a sign 2 fighters want to annoy each other. They don't necessarily, at least for the time being, like each other. Good left hand to the body there by the Prince. The Prince lands a short little rabbit punch. They're on the inside. Referee hasn't called break. The Prince puts his hand over the top of Hai's head, the white headgear. These guys are good. This is a good matchup. I've traded some hard shots here to start the second round. Both fighters can punch on the inside and trade in a slug. We've seen that. And both fighters are adept at trading at long range, and they trade hard. Whacking hooks there. Hai falls in the white headgear and lands a couple of good shots. The referee splits them. Let's see who's going to win the next skirmish. Hai coming forward. Big overhand right rather. And the Prince catches it really well with his own left hand. The Prince clearly the bigger man. They trade hard shots on the inside. The Prince is outweighing Hai by around 5 kilos today, and you can see it like a whippet, right? Really thin, lean, boxer's build. And the Prince there on the ropes rolls them punches effectively. Nothing landed, and he comes back with his own short little cluster. Some Sugar Ray Leonard against Marvin Hagler, trying to steal the round with a bunch of what we call shoe shine punches. Nothing of any significance, just sways the judges as we see them back on the outside. Good head movement in the white headgear as he steps in high. A really tricky move there. Pretty interesting, pretty unpredictable. He's got his hands back up. Both of these guys, like all the other fighters, they're well schooled. They know what they're doing. No chumps in this sparring session. They're all tough, clever guys. High over the top with the right hand, doesn't quite land. The Prince ducks under it. Prince back on the outside. He's dropped his lead hand. He's happy to roll. Nice left hook over the top. Always dangerous for southpaws if they keep that right hand down. They're susceptible to left hooks. We see that. Trade punches on the outside. Nice stiff jab, jams it into the Prince's face, and lands a good right hand. They're on the inside. Both of these guys are fairly rangy and tall, but they can both fight equally adept on the inside or the outside. You see a nice long shot there. Again, to reiterate, this guy clearly, Wing Nok Hai, has had some experience with southpaws. He knows how to get them measured. He's very comfortable. I've noticed multiple times he's put his left foot, which is his lead foot, on the outside of the Prince in the red headgear as they take a break. The Prince, some big breaths. It's round 2, a total of 4 rounds. The Prince, 25 professional boxing wins. He's taking on Wing Nok Hai. 6 pro fights, 3 ridiculous draws and 3 definitive wins. He's the talent, this guy. In the white headgear, the white groin belt, and white gloves, Wing Nok Hai. Pretty even, pretty tough to call thus far. 2 rounds completed. So we gear up for round number 3. Tough to say who's done the better work. Nok Hai clearly the more stylish fighter. He's carrying less weight. He's a little faster, more fleet of foot. The Prince getting some work done. He gets monstered on the ropes there. Really good work by Nok Hai. Nok Hai back out of range, going backwards. You can see from the position, the feints and the shadow box style lining up by the Prince. He's a really good southpaw. He's happy to work on the inside. They trade punches, both trying to shove each other's heads down. You can't see. Ideally punch the other guy. He's not sparring for the faint-hearted at VSP. The referee warns him, don't punch. No call break. Nok Hai back on the assault, coming forward. I think the pace of this, the output and speed of foot on Nok Hai has had a bit of an effect on the win, the cardio of Prince as he misses with the lunging overhand left from the southpaw stance. And then Nok Hai really pours that left hand in his face, his lead hand, sorts out which shot to throw. He seems to have, at this point, got the Prince from the Philippines range. They're falling with hard shots. They tangle up, break. The referee starts him again. This is round number 3 for a total of 4 rounds. Some good body shots there for the Prince as he storms forward. Another body shot. They trade some shots. Both guys are clearly feeling the effects of not having trained consecutively through this COVID pandemic. See, both fighters are starting to slow down. Fortunately, they're still trading punches. If anything, it can be a little more entertaining. The guys lost a little bit of posture, lost that acumen and that poise. The fall into shots. They'll be more willing to trade shots. You see it there. Knock high, let's go with a good combination. Really hard, short body shot there by the Prince from the Philippines. Both fighters got their hands down. Knock high will probably bring his up. Whipping right hook by the Prince, but it doesn't quite land. Then a 1-2 by Knock high also falls short of the target. And then a fast whipping right uppercut. Big overhands, looping punches by both fighters. They fall into the ropes. Less than a minute to go in round number 3 of spar number 3. They both land hard slapping hooks. Good 1-2 by Knock high. He fell into that one. Didn't look like he rotated enough. He dances out of the way of some pouring jabs from the Prince. The Prince looks a little weary here. Knock high is tight as well, but he's got a little more energy as he unloads with the combination, but Knock high catches it. Both fighters really well matched. No real disparity in punches landed. They've both landed some good shots. The Prince from the Philippines in the red has landed some hard body shots, some short, choppy, compact body shots. You see Knock high wing some wild shots from the outside. Probably at this point you'd say Knock high's got the better of the outside work. And the Filipino Prince, he's got his man on the ropes. That goes with, let's go with a good combination. A little shoe shine response from the Prince. Try to salvage some points. That is round number 3. I'd say at this point the Prince has done the better work on the inside, especially to the body. But overall, Knock high's range, speed of feet, game plans dominated the ring positioning and subsequently dictated the pace and the outcome of this fight thus far. There is another round to go as we see the ring card girl indicating round number 4 is about to begin. Get ready. This will be the best round, I feel. Both of these fighters are really well matched. Neither fighter is especially bigger, stronger, or a harder puncher than the other. Evidently the Prince is carrying a little more weight. But these fighters are evenly matched is the overarching theme here. Let's see who can take round number 4. Both fighters have landed some good punches. Neither fighter has had significant dominant stretches. Let's see what happens in round number 4. I want to see this. Here we go. The referee. And here we go. They touch gloves. The southpaw in the red headgear, red gloves. The Prince. Some nice combinations from the outside by the guy in the white. That is wing Knock high. They trade hard shots on the inside. They wrap up. The Prince gets a little bit of good body work done. Back on the outside, circling to his right. There's a little bit of a slip. We saw the water was cleared before. Probably got something to do with that. Not to do any damage. You can see the Prince is looking to land something serious. He really stepped in big there. They trade some hard shots. Neither fighter able to land right on the chin. They both cover up with the hands and the shoulders well. They trade some good little inside shots. The Prince, a short little chopping shot to the sternum. Knock high measuring his opponent. The Orthodox in the white measuring his opponent. The Prince really throwing a huge overhand lead right hook there. Really good 1-2 there. The left hook missed. But certainly the jab and the second shot, the right hand right down the middle by Knock high, really nice. Beautiful combination, perhaps the punch of the fight thus far. Body jab by the Prince. The Prince wants to get something back. A couple of little jabs and hooks by Knock high. Nothing significant landed. Good, hard inside shots by the Prince. Body work. His body work has been great in this round. His body work has been great through this whole fight. Knock high lands a couple of mediocre right hands. Again with that left hand out. If you've got the range and your opponent doesn't have the reflexes or just the response time, you can't read it, it's always good to stick your left hand out against a southpaw fighter. It confuses them. They'll try to do it to you. As we see the Prince storm forward. I'm not sure if that shot landed. That was a big 1-2 by the Prince in the red. The referee breaks them up. About a minute to go on the proceedings. Another really good body shot by the Prince. Landed again around the sternum, the solar plexus. Knock high wore that one well. You see he's back at range. Back looking difficult. Nice head movement. Comes in with the lead right hand on the southpaw. The Orthodox fighter. Knock high's just got a little bit more range, though the Prince lands a good 1-2 there. Breakup. Definitely less than a minute to go now. We're down in the 40s. About 40 seconds to go. We see the measuring white glove and left arm of Knock high. He's really looking to put some hurting. Blind in with the left, drop a big, colossal right hand, and you can see it. It's going to come. but at the same time, the Prince is trying to learn the same kind of thing from the southpaw position. Beautiful lead right hand there. And again, he sticks the arm out, knock high, and he lands a good combination. The Prince rolled with them, but they both landed in the face. Good shots. Closing seconds, less than 20 seconds to go. I think Nokai is pretty happy with what he's done. Moving on the outside, bit of accommodation. The Prince rolls under it. Who's going to draw the last blood? They both march into each other, tie up. Combination to finish. Spar number 3. Round number 4. Done. Really good, really well matched by the organisers at BSP Boxing.